It is the end of times. Or is it? Is it? I mean, we've heard these types of announcements 800,001 times, and I don't see many of them where they actually stay this way. Granted, there are some exceptions to the rules, like the band Sentence. If you don't know Sentence, look them up. They're one of the few bands that stuck to this bolt thrower when they called it a day. That was it. Adios. Even though that drummer was a longtime drummer, he wasn't the original drummer. It happens. Hell, even the band we're about to talk about broke up for 2 years and basically got back together because, well, this guy owed a record under a label contract. So what was intended to be a solo album became an album of the band's name that he was previously in, and the album was titled "The System Has Failed."
Long ago, 5 men set out from their own paths to achieve their own destinies. Now they are brothers, united under one cause. Alone they are strong, together they are unbreakable. They are bonded by metal.
Yeah. I've heard. I know you're right. Oh, what's Nick Weiser think? What's Toxic Nick saying? What is Nick saying about this? Megadeth has officially called it a day, or are calling it a day. So speaking in present tense here about their farewell album and farewell tour. And
you sure about that? You sure about that?
I don't know how I feel in terms of if this is authentic or not. Now, you look at guys like Alice Cooper or Biff Byford from Saxon, and they're in their 70s. Ozzy obviously passed on very recently. And then you got Tom Araya and Slayer. They kind of do like a few shows a year, with Kerry King really being, him and Paul Bosaf being the guys who are truly active. Dave Mustaine is 63 or 64, somewhere around there. He's been at this a long time. And as I mentioned earlier, with The System Has Failed, he was supposed to release that album originally as a solo album, but then it had to be a Megadeth album. So could that obligation have forced his way into a Megadeth reformation? Maybe. Conversation maybe for another day. But I actually do think at the, I don't want to say best case or worst case scenario, because that's all going to depend on how you feel about this. I could see this going one of two ways. A, they are going to do no more major tours, no big worldwide things, no more albums. They'll do like the occasional special occasion show, kind of like what Slayer are doing right now, where they have these few shows here and there. Slayer have like, 5 shows booked this year, and that's it. They did 2 last year. I actually think there's definitely something to there in terms of legitimacy. They are definitely not going to be the super functioning touring band. I truly believe that that is the end in that regard. Or B, they're done. Maybe Dave Mustaine has had it. I mean, he's probably one of the true guys who's really been as anti-state, anti-system, and actually stuck to his guns. He wasn't one of those guys who let's just say he didn't put their blinders on depending on who the president was. But okay, well, since this is the side that I voted for, I just gotta pretend problems don't exist for 48 years. Dave Mustaine has always called out corruption on any side of the political aisle. He has called out corruption, period. He was one of the few that was against all the crazy corona stuff back in 2020, 2021, who said actually something publicly about it. He's obviously a very notable figure. He's had that endless feud with Metallica, for better and worse. He never let go. Maybe is what drove him. Obviously a pioneer, had David Ellefson in the band twice, or the bulk of that career. Will this album be any good? I think at best it'll be pretty good.
Right? Wrong.
I think it'll be something like maybe like an extension of The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead, which that was a pretty good album. That was something I would give like a 7 out of 10. It's definitely not an album to get into Megadeth with, but it's something that if you are already a fan, you're basically preaching to the converted. And I truly believe that hopefully maybe I'm seeing an album that might be a little bit more exceptional. Like, hey, we're going to go out with such a bang. Because if you think about it, Slayer, when they put out Repentless 10 years ago, really went out on a whimper. And there's this video that showed, oh, hey, Vic Rattlehead doing this whole AI thing. The end is near. And there's this whole album pre-order countdown in 42 days. So it looks like the album's going to release November, December, maybe January at latest. If not, for sure, the tour will definitely be following 2026. could this be also a way of getting bands to come out to see the band again? Because Megadeth, like Slayer before them, they toured the U.S. a lot when they were super active. And towards the, let's just say, the last few years, like, they would have some good attendance, but not every show was to the par of what the band should be. And I'm not talking about in terms of, like, how I feel about the band, but according to, let's just say, their potential ticket sales. I feel like bands like that kind of oversaturate their stay in the U.S. tour market. Could this be a way of getting some of those fans to come out? Hey, I'd be one of them because I haven't seen Megadeth since 2012. 2012. And that was, I think, for 13. Yeah, it was when 13 came out. It was the tour for that. It was Gigantour with Motorhead. And, you know, it was a pretty good show. But I think one of the biggest problems with the live shows, and I haven't heard anything about it getting better nor worse, is that Dave Mustaine's vocals were really lacking. And yeah, to be fair, I know his vocals have always been a bit of a point of controversy, but for me, as someone who's always appreciated his voice, this is a lot worse. Like, it felt like his voice was a lot quieter on the mic than everyone else's, like, backing vocals, whether it was James Lomenzo, David Ellison on bass, or Chris Broderick, or Kiko Loureiro, whoever is the second guitarist. They do, like, you know, the backing vocals for Take No Prisoners. They were always much louder than Dave Mustaine's voice, a lot. The only time you could really hear Dave Mustaine's voice well is for quieter, more accessible guitar parts for, like, Symphony of Destruction, stuff like that. But, yeah, his voice was definitely shot out. Hopefully he has got it into shape since then. So I would probably catch this tour just to give one last hurrah, because I truly believe that this is either 100% legitimate, as I said, with option B, or A, they're done, ... for the most part. No albums, no big tours. You'll just get the special occasion show. I could see Dave Mustaine calling out of the woodworks if it meant, oh, hey, I'll get to do like a big four show, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax type of deal. I could see him doing that, despite his endless grudge with Metallica. So, what do you guys think? Do you think this is truly the end, or do you think it's going to be more like Slayer with the occasional shows a year, or do you just not flat out give a shit? I want to see your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. You lay down your souls to the gods rock and roll.
The way they show that they like you is they spit at you. Because it's a throwback to the punk movement, and yeah,
you must show them that you like them back.
Yeah,
we pee on them.
Yeah.